Nats have rallied to tie it here in the 8th and threaten to take the lead. In the air to right field. Zobrist goes back at the track. And that ball is gone. Ryan Zimmerman, a 3-run homer.
That was Ryan Zimmerman's 3-run shot that gave the Nationals the lead in Game 2 of the NLDS. Almost all of Washington's offense in this entire series came in today's 8th inning, which is kind of crazy to think about. They scored 5 runs compared to the 1 that they scored in the previous 16 innings. As far as their offense going forward, do you think that this momentum will carry over into Game 3 and so on?
I don't think they're going to be a one-run offense over the next 16 innings. So I think if you believe in momentum, there'll be some carryover. It was good to see Bryce Harper jump on a hanger from Carl Edwards Jr. I questioned the decision by Joe Madden to leave the righty in versus the lefty. You had Mike Montgomery in the bullpen who ended up giving up the home run to Ryan Zimmerman. So I think he got it backwards. I would have liked to see Edwards pitch to Zimmerman. I would like to see Montgomery pitch to Harper or Justin Wilson. If you're going to have a lefty in your bullpen, why not use it against the most dangerous left-handed hitter in maybe the entire majors in Bryce Harper? I know he's coming back from an injury, so he hasn't had his rhythm, but maybe he gets it with that swing of the bat. That's dangerous for the Cubs going back to Chicago. What's even more dangerous, even though there's a caveat, is that Max Scherzer's on the mound for Game 3, so the Nats may only need 1 or 2 runs if Scherzer pitches to his potential. Now, he tweaked his hammy in his last start of the regular season, so what level is he at physically? I don't know, but I know Max Scherzer is a bulldog, and he's going to give you everything he's got.
One of the reasons, let's continue talking pitching, that the Nationals offense has struggled in this series has been the Cubs starting pitching. Cal Hendricks, John Lester were both lights out in their 2 starts. Do you think that Jose Quintana and Jake Arrieta, rather, can pick up where their teammates left off?
They certainly have the talent to do so. Quintana and Arrieta probably have the best stuff of all the starters. Hendricks, he is the little professor. He gets by with masterful control, and he displayed that masterful control in a sublime Game 1 effort. And Lester went out there and does what he does in the postseason. Forget what happened in the regular season. He once again is proving that he is able to raise his level of play when the stakes are the highest. He was locked in. He was focused. He was amped up. He got big outs when he needed them. John Lester pitched great. Kyle Hendricks was a maestro. Quintana's never been in the postseason, though. He spent his entire career at the White Sox, and they didn't have teams that qualified. Now he's going to pitch on the biggest stage of his life, so who knows? Does he overcome with, the moment, or does he temper his emotions and pitch to his ability? Is Jake Arrieta 100%? He's dealt with injuries throughout the back half of this calendar year, so is he ready to pitch to his full capability? I have questions about these next 2 starters. They have the stuff to go out there and shut down any lineup. Will they? That remains to be seen.
All right, let's talk a little offense. The Cubs starting pitching has been good, as we were just talking about, but Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo really are the only 2 that have been the bright spot for the Cubs offense. They're combined outside of those 2, 5 for 44 in the series. How important is it for this offense to get on track and get going for the rest of this series?
Yeah, you want some help for Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo. Those guys are doing their job, and they are the 2 best players in that lineup. So this is what you expect. But guys like Wilson Contreras, guys like Javi Baez, Ben Zobrist, Addison Russell, they need to do their part as well. It can't just be the Brizzo show, because the Washington Nationals have a lineup that can match that. They have David Murphy and Bryce Harper, or Ryan Zimmerman and Bryce Harper, Trey Turner at the top of that order. Their lineup is just as deep. So if Bryce Harper gets going, we know Daniel Murphy, since it's October, is going to match. That's just what he does. But if Bryce Harper gets going from this tater, if Ryan Zimmerman gets going from this tater, then look out, unless the others in that Cubs order get going. With the pitching, though, the way that's lined up, I think these are going to be, until we get to the bullpen maybe, like we saw today, these are going to be some games that are close for the first 6 or 7 innings. 2-1, 3-2, 1-0. I think that's the way it's lined up, looking at Game 3 with Quintana and Scherzer at Wrigley Field. The offenses are great. They're 2 of the best offenses in the entire majors, not just the National League. Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo need help, just like Ryan Zimmerman, Daniel Murphy, and Bryce Harper need help in that Washington order.
All right.